Ever find one of those, just a blank note, like in your files?
Yeah.
It's a little bit, well, that's what this whole deep dive is about.
Okay.
And we're looking specifically at your note from November 28th, 2024.
Right.
And it's titled All Notes.
Interesting.
Which is interesting in itself, right?
Yeah.
So it's just an empty note.
Huh.
So what can we learn about this?
Well, you know what's really fascinating to me here is that it's an empty note in a digital note-taking system.
Right.
Like, that context is important.
Yeah.
It's not like a forgotten scrap of paper.
Yeah.
It's a deliberate creation in a space that's designed for you to, like, capture your thoughts and information.
Right.
So that's interesting.
It is. It's like, why even make an empty note?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, was it an accident
Yeah.
or was there a purpose behind it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, think about how we use digital notes. I mean, could this have been a quick capture, like just something you jotted down, meant to go back and flesh it out?
Yeah.
And you just never did.
Oh, totally. I mean, sometimes those digital breadcrumbs,
Right.
they just don't lead anywhere.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a placeholder, like a,
oh, yeah.
remind me to think about this later.
Absolutely. They've all been there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Staring at that blank document,
Totally.
waiting for inspiration to strike.
Yeah. Like you open up the app.
Yep.
You create a new note.
Yep.
And then
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Just a total mental block.
It could be.
Right.
It could be that moment of just like pause
Right.
in your thought process where
Yeah.
you're like, I need to step away from this.
Right.
It's like the digital equivalent of staring out the window
Yeah.
and letting your mind wander.
It's like the note itself is a representation of that blank space.
It is.
You know,
It is.
that pause. Instead of filling it with words, you filled it with potential for thought.
Exactly. And that brings up another interesting idea.
Okay.
What if this empty note is actually a sign of like a deliberate choice? You know, a decision to embrace emptiness.
Right.
To create space for new ideas to emerge.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Like just cleaning up,
Yeah.
your mental desktop.
Totally.
Just deleting all those half-written drafts.
Yeah, get rid of it.
And those random to-do lists that you never actually look at.
Yeah.
Make room for something new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this brings us back to the context of your digital note-taking system.
Yeah.
Like, where was this note located?
Okay.
Was it, like, nestled among project notes or personal reflections or random brainstorms, you know?
That's a really good question for you, listener.
Yeah.
Like, what was the surrounding landscape of this empty note?
Exactly.
Was it in a folder?
Yeah.
That was full of active projects? Or was it, like, tucked away in a forgotten corner?
Yeah, in the digital dustbin.
Of your digital world.
You know, like, the location could give us clues.
Yeah.
Was it meant to be, like, a central hub for future ideas?
Right.
Or was it a quiet space for reflection?
Yeah.
Within, a chaotic digital landscape?
Well, that's good.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've got some options here, right?
We do.
We've got, a forgotten thought.
Yeah.
A deliberate pause.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a placeholder for, future brilliance.
You're right.
It's interesting how an empty note
I know.
can have so much meaning.
It can. It really can.
But I think that ultimately, like you were saying, the meaning really lies with you, the listener.
It does.
What were you working on?
Yeah.
What were you thinking about or feeling?
What was the context?
When you created this note?
Yeah.
Right? It's like we all have these,
oh, dear.
little digital ghosts lurking in our files.
The skeletons in our digital closet.
Yeah. And maybe this empty note is, a chance to reflect.
Yeah.
Like a reminder that sometimes the most productive thing we can do is to hit delete.
Yeah.
And clear the clutter.
Get rid of it.
So what are you going to do with this blank slate?
That's the question.
That's the question.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.
Looking forward to it.